Welcome to the Marble Sports Worldwide Podcast, where we discuss and analyze your favorite marble sports. From JMR Marble League to I'll Go Do tournaments, we'll make sure you never miss the action. All marble sports, all the time, right here on the MSW Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Marble Sports Worldwide Podcast. My name is Brendan.
And I'm Commander Wolf.
And I am Marbles for Autism.
And today, we got episode 73 coming at you from Monday. I can't remember the date. What is it today? What are we looking at
November
today?
2nd.
November 2nd, 2020. And in the words of Bill Burr, what's going on? How are ya?
What was that?
That's what he sounds like when he does the show. The Monday morning with Bill Burr. How's your week going? How was your last week? Because this week just begun.
My last week was, I think it was okay. I got a lot of work done, but I still got plenty more to go. So the end of the semester is coming up, like last month of the semester, so
Yeah.
lots of projects, lots of exams.
I am currently
for me
in
as well.
happiness. I am currently in the state of happiness due to marble sports.
That's exactly
Well,
where
that's
we
good.
want to be, yeah.
Well,
I mean,
well,
for me
well,
too.
It has to do with NASMARB, but I'm not going to tell exactly what happened.
Well, we'll talk about that when we get into the when we get past Johnny Marble. But I will say that your college is in the same place for me. We've gone, about a month left for me as well. I got some projects and some tests, but it's going all right. You know, remote learning is not the best thing, but it's existing and it is what it is. So that I'm glad that's going well for you, Waf, and I hope anyone else out there who's doing school. I mean, damn, right? I mean, school remote. I mean, that just kills any possible enjoyment in school. Having to work from home really kills that. I mean, I guess you get to sleep later or whatever in some cases, but most of the time, I mean, it's the people. It's being with people. That's what makes work more exciting. So definitely a difficult time, but we'll get through it. Marble Sports will roll us through it, and of course, hopefully that vaccine will come out soon, which there is decent news on that. I just hit my mic, so hopefully you guys didn't hear that. But guys, election coming up tomorrow. We're not going to really talk about that because doesn't pertain much to the podcast. But I'll mention that it's happening.
Like if
Just
you
go
are
out
of
and vote.
age, please go out and vote.
Yeah, definitely
It's very
vote. Definitely put your voice out there, and we'll see what happens. I hope either way, wherever the presidency lands, that it's just
Vote
that
for the
people will
meme
just
of
work
your
together.
choice.
That I wish just all parties could just work together, be like, okay, we got our differences, but we got to get through this crisis, and that's what I think they should do. So I'm not going to talk any more about that, but yes, we definitely hope for unity here across the election and into the next few years.
We should have told them to go out and vote last week because they won't
We
hear it
should
in
have,
time.
yeah. That's true. Yeah, they're going to hear it
Yeah.
afterwards.
Aw,
But you know what?
shoot.
Go out and vote if you did, great. If you didn't, you should have. I don't know. Do whatever makes you happy, okay?
Yeah, that message is a kind of a pointless now, isn't it?
Hey, but
Very
we're
much
doing
so.
the best we can. We're doing the best we can. All right. But anyways, guys, that's going to be enough for the intro. No interesting things from my week to really tell a story about. Like I said, things are pretty boring right now. Pretty monotonous, pretty cyclical, I'd say.
I do have one interesting thing.
All right, you can go ahead and say it.
Yeah.
We have a couple minutes left in the intro.
We sang a song yesterday in church, and in one of the lines it said "Creator of the Rolling Spheres."
Really?
And-
What?
Yes.
What song
Yes.
is that?
Crown him with many crowns.
It says creator of the rolling spheres in that song.
And then in literally the next line, it said ineffably sublime.
Oh my god. Oh, that's great. That's great right there. I like that.
So
All right.
but even my sister, who's not a Marble
Well-
fan, literally saw that.
That's funny. I gotta
Yeah,
take a look at that.
It was kind of a little funny.
Definitely. I mean, mean, God's behind the Limas. That's what that's saying. But I mean, they're still doing quite bad. So I mean, well, I don't know. We'll see what happens. All right, we'll see.
Hashtag 14th place curse is alive.
Hashtag Limers supernatural. I mean, it's always hashtag Lime time. But anyway, that's great. I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm glad you brought that up.
Hey.
But we got to get to the news with Johnny Marble, definitely.
Yeah.
So we're going to wrap up this intro, get to the news with Johnny Marble, and we'll see you on the other side for our topics in Marble sports today. Let's go to the news.
Hello, Marbula sports fans! I am Johnny Marble, and as always, I'm coming to you for MSW. Let's get into it. NASMARB has returned with race number 6, the NASCAR Discord 400 at the DDT International Speedway. There were fewer incidents than the last time these marbles raced here, but the competition was still tough. Unfortunately for the MSW, both Spitzer and Quilla weren't able to make it past the first heat of the competition, inching them ever closer to the cutoff line for the playoffs. Oak, on the other hand, came out and had another great race, once again finishing in 5th. Unlike the last couple of races, the finals were fairly one-sided, with only one racer putting up a real fight being Woodpecker, but in the end, Steamer still took home their 3rd victory of the season, with Woodpecker taking 2nd and Earl taking 3rd without a single victory in the final races. Only 2 competitions remain before the playoffs, and there are several marbles who have the potential to either win or lose it all at a moment's notice, so they had better bring their A game. For our last piece of news, we have Race 5 of Marble E, the New York M Prix. This track may have been the most challenging yet, with several sharp 90-degree turns all throughout it, resulting in many position changes throughout. It was a tough battle for a while, but by the end, Porsche took a very decisive victory by 3.39 seconds, leaving Audi to take 2nd and Techeetah to take 3rd. And while they may not have won the race in Vision Virgin Racing, the hosts of this competition had their best performance thus far with a 6th place finish. They have really had a rough go of it this year, and with only one race left, they don't have a chance of winning. But if they continue their performance, they may very well manage to finish this season above last place. Well guys, I've been Johnny Marble. You have been the best fans in the world. Let's kick it back and continue on with the podcast.
All right, everybody, we are back from the news here for the bulk of the show. Thank you, Johnny Marble, for an exciting news segment. And we got a lot to talk about today. We have Marbula 1 coming up. We do. And we have fantasy picks to decide upon tonight. And I'm very excited to go through the fantasy picks, deciding the best lineup of 5 teams tonight. We're going to talk about it. We have some fan opinion on that. And we'll take your opinion in the live chat during the show as well, as I try to form my perfect top 5 team that will bring me to victory here in the Fantasy League. But before we get into Marbula 1, we want to dwell a little bit on NASMARB for a second. We haven't talked too much NASMARB lately, and Race 6 has come out. If you don't know, NASMARB is run by the channel Marbles Beyond, an amazing channel with an amazing set of content. And NASMARB is about marbles actually driving race cars. So go check that out on YouTube if you have not already. So we're going to talk a little bit about the events that happened in today's race, and then we will jump over to Marbula 1 and pick today's fantasy picks. So to begin, Waf, I like to let Waf start off with NASMARB. Do you want to talk about your thoughts on NASMARB in today's race? And I'll have on the YouTube, I will have the video playing in the background as if you happen to be watching the show on the YouTube instead of just listening, you can see the visuals that go with it.
Yes. So, once again, MSW and Spitzer didn't do it so good this time around.
No, they did not.
Yeah. We're currently they are Spitzer has 110, and I believe MSW has 111. Aquilo does. I might be mistaken, but know that Spitzer is 10 points away from the cutoff line, and Quillo is 11. So
Spitzer is currently 8 from the cut line.
28?
No, 8.
8. Okay, my bad. So yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, you're a
two more
plus
races
8.
left,
Quillo's
and,
a plus 10, actually. So, but they're still in 6th and 7th overall. They have a lot of other cars that would drop off before them. So I think that Quillo and Spitzer, with 2 more races, as long as they stay in their lane, no pun intended, and just roll well and roll consistent in these next 2 races, they will at least get into the playoffs. If we see like performances where Quillo or Spitzer continue to either not qualify for the regular race or get out in first round and just not bring the energy that they brought in the beginning of the season, then they're going to slip down and they could be out. But it would be over 2 races to really drop below these 5 other cars that are below is going to be not likely but possible. So I would say that there's a good hope for Quillo and Spitzer likely getting into the qualifying situation. But really, let's talk about Oak, because Oak started out quite bad.
It's
let's be honest.
Goak.
Hashtag what?
Hashtag Goak. GOAK. Greatest of all known.
Okay. Sure. Anyway, talk, because you are the sponsor, right, MFA?
I am
of
the
Oak,
sponsor,
right?
along with S-Man. So, yes, Oak's our guy. He, if you didn't know, he started out terribly in the first 2 races with 2 DNFs.
Really bad.
Yeah. You know what? He was, almost on the cut line of whether we'd sign him again. So...
Yeah.
We were hoping, and so he pulled out in race 3. He pulled out a 5th at this exact same track. In race 4, he pulled out a 6th. In race 5, he pulled out 11th, and now in this race, he pulled out in the qualifiers a pole. Unfortunately, couldn't turn that pole into a top 3, but he got 5th again. So he's been consistent.
5th is good. 5th is points. And
Fifth
he's now above the cutoff line for the first time this season.
Yes, which is a shocking. You know what? If you told me that a driver would come back from 2 DNQs, not DNFs, DNQs, and come back and be in the running in potentially 6th place, I would have told you I wouldn't believe you. And currently,
I honestly, 4 races in, I counted Oak out. I actually said, Oak's not getting in. I said that because I did not think he was going to be able to turn it around, go from DNQs, and even when he didn't DNQ at first, he was not your best racer.
Oh, he was very good in the 3rd race. He was very good in top 5 at this exact same track. This is Oak's absolute killer track. DDT is a track Oak and Streamer own.
Well, that's the thing. Well, what do you think is going to happen when we go into different tracks? Because we have 2 more tracks Oak has to get through and perform at least medium on if he's going to stay above this cutoff line. He's only 1 point above.
No,
and I'm
he's
sure
currently
Electro,
5.
Jack Tato, and Nugget would love to take that spot.
He is currently 5 above. And the only person he really has to worry about is Electro, who is 5 points behind him.
It shows 1 above here.
It says
race
1.
6. Yeah,
No,
it says 1.
No, it's updated. On the video, Hershey made a mistake and forgot to add in 4 qualifying points, so he's currently 5.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah,
so he's ahead of Bloodstorm.
All right.
So he's currently in 10th, which is quite amazing.
So he's tied with Sal, actually, who's also +5 in the current standing. So he still has to. He still has to be consistent, and actually, besides, of course, his performances on this particular track, which if you look on the, we'll just pull up a random moment in the video. You can actually take a look at the track, and we'll talk about the track design in a second. Besides this particular track, he has to be a consistent racer, because honestly, off of this track, he is not a good racer when not on this particular course, and it's going to be an upsetting finish. All right, if he can't be positive on the other track types.
On 3 other tracks, or 2 other tracks that they've raced on, he hasn't raced on the Spiral 360 after his DNF, but on the other 2 tracks, he's gotten 5th and 11th. That's pretty, or 6th and 11th. So that's consistency too.
Well, 11th I would not really call a very good finish, but 6th is not bad. So, I mean, he's just got to be careful of the DNQs, obviously. I mean, if he has 2 already, so I wouldn't be surprised if you see a 3rd. Like, if it happens, I wouldn't be surprised, though I don't know if he's going to fall to that again. But an 11th is not great. It really isn't. And it's below halfway point, and honestly, if he gets 11th the next 2 races, he's probably not looking at a qualifying spot. So what I'm saying is he needs to turn this around. He needs to be on this course, on the other courses what he was on this course in the coming races, because he really needs to pull himself up and out of the hole he kind of dug himself at the beginning.
Actually, you know what? Even if he does get 11th, the Marble's behind. The only one he really needs to worry about is Bloodstorm and Electro. Jack Tato, he has 11-point cushion. So even if he were to get an 11th, which I think scores him 14 points without any other bonuses. So 14 points puts him to 121. So Jack Tato is currently at 95, so 26 points Jack Tato would need to gain in order to push Oak down. Electro would need to gain 19, which is a 9th approximately. Definitely doable. So Oak has a decent cushion if you think about it.
Right,
if he were to get 11th.
but you're not. There's no guarantees he's doing anything because looking at his performances, honestly, he's so all over the place. He could do first place in the next race. He could do DNQ or bottom 5 in the next race, and that's the thing that for me is like, yes, the numbers work in his favor as far as probably being able to pull himself out and qualify, but his performance across the last 6 races have been all over the place. It's been a mess.
You know what?
So I don't really know.
The thing is that you're not taking into account is it was the first 2 races. Now, if you notice, he had 2 top 6 times. So, in qualifying, when he didn't DNF, we say when he's under pressure, Oak thrives. And he's been under pressure this whole past 4 races because he knew he needed to make it up. So he's a pressure driver. So I think he could actually I think he won't DNQ. Now, he might not get a great finish.
We hope. I don't know.
But, it'd be super nice if all 3 of the producers or hosts of MSW could get in with, but currently,
well, right now it's
close.
looking pretty good for that. Because in all honesty, you make a good point. If Oak does not DNQ, his track record shows he will finish in the top
5 or 10
in the top 11, likely in the top 7 because he's done 5, 5, 6, 11 when he's not DNQ'd, which is not bad. So I mean, you do have a point in favor, but the problem is if he can't afford a DNQ. If he has one DNQ in the next 2 races, it's over.
No. If he wins, it's automatic in. So technically, anyone, even Jeff Marbun, the meme of the league, or the series, could still win, or qualify for the playoffs.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, where is he at right now?
He is currently at 58 points, negative 48 points below the cut line.
Yeah, but he would have to place first twice. I mean, that's not happening.
No, the cut line above. If you win, you're automatically in. So the cut line would advance another space.
Right. That's a fact. So yeah, I don't know. But I don't know if he's gonna win.
No.
I don't think winning is in the scope of Oak's current performance.
Well, I'm talking about Jeff Marbun.
Well, it's not in his either.
No.
No.
I mean,
no, not at all.
The only person I could see actually winning in the bottom 12 is probably Neptune.
Possible.
Maybe, I guess.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I mean, I think winning is out of the question for most of the cars below the cutoff line. I think any cars that are just below the cutoff line or just above currently, their strategy needs to be do not DNQ. Okay, first off, do not DNQ. Second off, you need to get past first round. You have to do whatever it takes to get past first round of racing. And then, from then on, you just got to take a deep breath. You got to stay consistent through the next 2 races. And cars that do that, the cars that will qualify from the ones near the cutoff line are the cars that do that in the next 2 races. That consistency, not necessarily top 3 finishes, but just middle of the road, staying consistent, because they're just trying to make the playoffs right now. And then once we get there, then our tunes change. But right now, it's just about getting there. So that's what I think I need to see from Oak. I need to see from, I guess, other cars in the same area. Right now, I'd have to look at the things to get another read on who's in that area right now. I think we got, Electro, Jactato, Sal, Bloodstorm. All of them need to be on their best performance as far
Even
as being
Quillo
consistent,
and Spitzer.
getting through first round.
Even Quillo and Spitzer, they're only 10 and 8 points above the cut line. You're in the same boat as Oak is.
Not really, because Quillo can afford one. I mean, not a DNQ. Quillo DNQs, he's in trouble. But Quillo can afford one negative performance and be good in the, not necessarily top 3, but just good in the next one to pull it back together. Now, that would be a very stressful moment for me as the Quillo sponsor. But when you get up to Spitzer, you get up to Quillo and up, they can afford a negative performance once and pull it back. I mean, obviously, once you get past Quillo, those point Mozilla, Woodpecker, Winx, Drizzle, and Streamer can all, 3 of them are already qualified, and the Winx and Mozilla can afford like a DNQ and still get in. But it's the ones that are +6, +5, 4, 1, -1, -8. Those are the ones that need to get past first round. It's do or die with getting past first round in these next 2 races. That's what needs to happen for these cars if they want to qualify. Because honestly, if they're not past first round, they're not making playoffs.
Although I would like to point back to the history of both of your cars real quick. Where did your car place this round?
6th?
No, he was way behind.
Not in the race. He's overall 6. In this race, he was out
race.
First round. He was out. He did exactly what didn't need to happen. But he did have a little bit more of a points cushion, and he did okay. He's okay.
What happened in the race before that?
He DNQ'd that race. He did DNQ in that race.
Was the Waffway? Was that
I believe
the
so. There was a D.
Yes, that was Waffway.
No. Quillo DNQ'd 2 races ago, and he top 3'd in the last race. Top 3'd. That is something. That is the difference. It's a separation point between a racer like Quillo and a racer like Spitzer and a racer like Oak and Bloodstorm right now.
Okay, but
you're not going to see a top 3 from Oak or Bloodstorm, but you could see one from Quillo and Spitzer, and I think that's the difference.
Oak
right now
has the chance.
Oak.
Let's keep missing them.
First things first. Oak has been on the cusp 3 times. Once he gets on the hump,
honestly, when I look at Oak's racing, I see a top 5 performance at the very max that he's probably going to be able to reach here in these non-playoff rounds. I really do.
Why do you think that?
When looking at his racing, just like in all honesty, when I look at Quillo, I don't see much past the top 3. I can't see past the top 3. When you see him in top 3, if you look at the last race for Quillo, in top 3, he was last out of the gate every time. Yeah. He was last out of the gate every time, and he never had a chance to do better than top 3.
Oh, so where did
he
Quillo finish?
He did push out a second, but he got lucky because there was a lot of commotion. But that's the thing, and I think Oak faces a similar problem.
Where did Quillo finish this round, Mr. Wolf? I think it was like 16th.
Ooh, bad this round. Ooh.
I cannot remember. You go back a few seconds, Brendan. It'll show up.
I'd have to check.
He said 18th. Hershey said 18th.
Okay.
So.
Okay, well, I'm glad
your
he
past
remembers.
results for Mr. Woff that show that Mr. Woff may be in danger. In the past race, he got 9th, so decent. But then the race before it, 17th. So if you see 17th, 9th, and then 18th, that's not good.
But I like Hershey's, and I appreciate Hershey putting down these stats because these are important.
Yes.
When you take a look at Quillo, you got 2 finals. When you take a look at Oak, you got
Spitzer.
0, and that is the difference right now.
Yes.
Even if Quillo and Oak right now were equal with just like a +4 over the line, if I had to bet money, I'd bet it on Quillo because he beat in finals twice.
Now
And he has less DNQs. Oak is not a bad racer. I think Oak can qualify for playoffs. But, there's a separation between Quillo and Spitzer and Oak's racing right now.
You know what? I would actually put my money on Oak because he is consistent. He has been consistent.
I would hope so. You already did put your money on him.
Quite literally. I sponsored him. But actually, I got him for free because of...
oh, that's true, yeah.
So I didn't actually put money on him. I am going to
buy
the design.
It was a manner of speaking about the situation.
You know what? But here's the thing I'm seeing is Oak has been consistent through these past 4 races. He had a massive hiccup in the first 2 races. Yes, I get that. But
Man, that's quite a hiccup.
It was
like a
2
cough.
DNFs. It was like a choke. It was on the verge of choking. But he pulled it back together. And who's now got 4 top 11 performances? Oak. And I'm not sure.
So does Quillo and Spitzer.
So do they. In a row?
With finals. Row doesn't matter.
Yes, in a row does.
Row does not matter. Row
Momentum.
in this marble sports situation, NASMARB, in a row, honestly, in my opinion, has no bearing. Because every race, especially since the track is different every race, they do repeat once over the 8 races, each track shows twice, so yes, that is the thing. But like you have a different situation every race as the different tracks cycle through. And in each track is so different that it really provides a different element of chaos and different types of turns and different types of collision patterns across races. So yes, in a row is great, but I don't think in a row is any more impressive than just 4 in general.
Okay,
in my opinion.
I have a stat that Hershey just put up. If Quillo had finished 5th in the 2 races he finished top 3, he would have less points than Oak. The finals have been the difference for Quillo.
But that's yes, of course.
That supports his point.
That's important. What do you mean? So you're saying that
that's not a good thing for Oak at all. Like that shows that Oak has a less chance because Quillo has proven that they can get to the finals at least on a decent basis, whereas Oak hasn't even made it once.
Okay,
that's the
and
thing.
That has been the deciding factor
that's
so far.
That's what separates a playoff racer from a non-playoff racer. Being able to get to the finals and perform there.
I have a question. Hershey, what are the next 2 tracks? Because
the Mayhem Super Speedway is next, the one that has the most DNFs.
You mean the one that goes right, then left, then right, like kind of the N shape?
It was race 4, the one where everybody kept flying.
Oh
off.
Yeah,
that one is a rough track. I did not like that.
You know
track.
What the thing is? The thing is, where does Oak thrive? In Mayhem. He loves crazy races.
So does Quillo, by the way, because Quillo's not the fastest car out there. So the more chaos, the better for him.
Okay,
that's why he did better in race 2 than in race 1 because I'm not sorry, the other way around. But I think there was more chaos, and Quillo often can get around because like cars. If you look at Quillo's racing, often he's last one out of the gate, second to last one out of the gate at best. Okay. No. That's not why I didn't like it. Addressing Hershey here. Saying I didn't like race 4 because that's when Quillo DNQ'd. I obviously didn't enjoy that. I didn't like the track at all. I think it was way too wild. I think we were bordering, in my opinion, it bordered on the situation that it's almost too wild. It's almost too wild. Now, I think that's good to have one of those tracks. I'm fine with one of those tracks where the cars are regularly falling off the track, regularly flipping all over the place. To have one of those, but it bordered up to extreme when it was getting a little bit too wild.
I don't disagree. Don't disagree.
Back to what I was saying, Quillo is often not the first car out of the gate, but when the chaos ensues with cars, when they start to ram up against the walls, ram into each other, DNF, Quillo is good at moving his way around, getting in front, sometimes causing or being or capitalizing on collisions and hesitations from other cars, and often will start in the back and by the end of the race be in the front. And that's the kind of thing. So courses that are less speed based are going to be better for Quillo.
Okay, I would like to say real quick. Now, 48, the Oak has a lot of pace. You saw what he did to Murakami and in the round. He literally swept him, and you saw a lot of speed, didn't you, in that one? I know it's
in which
the round of 12. Round of 12.
Where is this particular race?
And yes, in the last race.
No, I'd have to go to. Wait, let's go to that. Let's go to that in the Yao Tub.
Okay, it was in the first round of 12.
It was Oak versus Oak. Okay, Oak Sal Drizel.
No, Oak Murakami.
You're talking about race 6.
Yes, race 6, but round of 12, not round of 6.
Oh, okay. Then I'd have to find that. All right, so keep saying what you're saying about it while I find it.
Okay. So,
okay, I'm at it.
in that one, he literally flew around the outside of Murakami. And you know what? What I also see is Oak also has great qualifying. He's got pace. Okay, go. I see Mr. Waff is waiting to talk. Go ahead, Mr. Waff. Well,
Yes, so we've talked a lot about Oak and Quillo and like the MSW teams. So let's focus on the other racers. Woodpecker, for instance, has been doing phenomenally.
yeah, you know what? That's kind of the same thing that Oak's doing.
Yes, but the Woodpecker's comeback was more impressive because, if I'm not mistaken, they were almost completely at the bottom, if not entirely at the bottom of the ranking, and now they were dead. Yeah, they were dead last, and now they are how far above the cut line are they now?
They literally can't be eliminated from the playoffs. They won a
Woodpecker
race.
cannot be
Oh yeah, that's right.
eliminated.
They're
They
the
did win.
fourth. They're the fourth place as well. Like they went from last to fourth. Like that's insane. Like Woodpecker is a sleeper hit. Like
Yeah, but
This is-
I still think
what to look out
Streamer
for.
wins. Still think Streamer. Okay. You hear it first. I'm predicting
Streamer seems OP to me.
Streamer.
The Streamer has been out there every single time.
Okay.
A top contender. It's
I'm
like
going
a
to say
Savage
this.
Peter
Yeah.
situation.
Okay, I'm going to say this. You heard it here first. Streamer will win season 1 of NASMARB.
I mean, it's hard for me to argue with that. I usually like to argue with
is.
MFA, but it's quite difficult for me to argue with MFA. I mean, I don't. I mean, Streamer seems like the obvious answer. I do not see. Here, listen, from Quillo down, I don't see them winning. From Quillo down to the cutoff line, I don't see them
But
winning. I don't think
remember-
Quillo's winning. I don't think Spitzer's winning.
But
I don't
remember,
think they're winning.
I would like. Okay,
You
this
know?
is hilarious. Hershey just brought up something that I said. Flashback to when I said Streamer will not win another race after the last DDT race.
I don't know why you said that. Streamer is evidently one of your best
Well, before
racers out there.
DDT, he did not do well. He had not won a race. Then he went on a 2-race tear.
Yeah, but that was 2 races in. I mean, like, right? I mean, when was the first DDT? That was what? That was,
that
quite a
was
bit
race
ago,
3.
wasn't it?
Race 3. Race
It was
3.
race 3, yeah. So it's 2 races in. So we can't really make. It's hard to make. I mean, I can't even make decisions about the marbles and San Manuel Rally 5 races in. So I mean, you got to give it some time. But I mean, like Streamer right now. I mean, dude, it's hard for me to say Streamer's not going to win this.
Although I
the
would
only
like-
possible car I could see doing better than Streamer is maybe Drizel. That's just because there were
Or Woodpecker,
there were 2-3
or
races
Woodpecker.
for Drizel that you saw absolute dominant. I do not see Woodpecker winning this. I do not.
Woodpecker
I
has an
absolutely do not.
absolute killer speed. He literally got
just
2
do not see
wins
it
off
happening.
of Streamer.
It's more than speed. It's more than speed necessary out there on the track to win a NASMARB.
Also,
a lot more than speed.
I would like to say
Handling is very important, and Streamer's got a little more than that. Than
also
Woodpecker.
I would like to say one other thing. After the last race 8, remember we still have a playoffs. So yes,
Yeah.
he might, but you know what? It's how many races are going to be in each playoff round? Hershey.
2,
So each
right? Or no?
Is it a-
or 4? There are 2 tracks. There might be 4 races.
So is it a best of
I don't know.
3? A best of
Oh,
3,
no,
a
wait,
best
hold
of
on.
5?
Reading clarification.
Is it a best of 3 or a best of 5?
I am not sure exactly.
Do.
One big tournament.
Yeah,
2
I know,
tracks.
but
Okay.
Okay.
how many wins does a racer need to get in order to advance?
I don't know. Do we ever get like a layout of what the playoffs is going to look like yet?
I don't think so. Yes.
It's-
Well, yes. Can you be more specific? I said, is it 3 or is it 5?
Man, 5 wins to
No.
advance?
Best of
Jesus.
3 or best of 5. So you either need to win 2 races or 3 races.
Okay. Understood. I don't know. We'll wait for him to answer. But anyways, we're gonna begin to wrap up NASMARB here for today's podcast because we're about 26 minutes in and we have a lot to cover. I think now is a great time to go to the trivia segment as we wait for Hershey's final answer on this.
Okay.
We'll give that to you.
Well,
So we're going to go to
I mean-
trivia. We're going to read the fan
Are you
email,
sure?
and
Like,
then we'll come
we
back
like-
and do
we like,
fantasy.
We like to use the trivia to divide 2 topics. And
That's
if
what we're
gonna be on
dividing.
NASMARB
We're gonna have to pull NASMARB to a close if we're gonna cover Marbula One's. Marbula One's fantasy and the fan email today.
Can we see if
I think we really did talk about this. In all honesty, when I think NASMARB, I really gotta say, right now it's hard for me to really focus on other cars besides the top two, Oak, Quillo, and Spitzer, and like Nugget, because Nugget's cool too. I mean, those are like those are the ones I can focus on. There's just too many to focus on. So I mean, we talked about those for the most part. I think Oak is a very important car to talk about right now. I think Quillo and Spitzer are pretty important to talk about because honestly, being near the cutoff line for playoffs is a more important discussion point than being first right now. Because we haven't hit playoffs
real
yet.
Quick, I have a quick question. Who pick like two dark horses that you think that might make it deep into the playoffs? Are you going to pick?
I mean, honestly, I think Quillo to me. I'm not just saying this because I paid for him, but to me, Quillo seems like a dark horse kind of racer because he's not your fastest racer. It's very clear, but I mean, you've seen him make him two final finishes, and both times he's a racer who starts in the back, weaves his way to the front, capitalizes on the mistakes of other cars. And dark horses, that's the kind of thing you expect from a dark horse. So Quillo for me is definitely a dark horse that I think has the possibility of, by a little bit of luck, a little bit of intelligent moving, could do well in the playoffs. Other dark horse, I mean, for me, I don't know. I mean, dark horse, man, I don't know. I mean, Sal, Bloodstorm, they don't seem like, or Earl, they don't seem like racers that jump out at me as racers that are going to turn things around. I mean, obviously, top five, it's hard for a top five to be a dark horse. So I'd say Spitzer or Oak if you wanted to pick another one. I mean, I know it just lines up with the cars that we all have, but I feel like those are the cars that are really showing that, yes, they're not the best top five racers right now, but they do show promise and could turn things around in the playoffs if they continue in the right way. So I think we do have to wait and see.
Mr. Woff?
But those are dark horses I would choose.
Mr. Woff, who do you choose, real quick?
Well, when you said dark horse, I was thinking of marbles who are below the cutoff line that could make a comeback, and I was thinking Nugget and maybe Earl.
Oh yeah, if you're talking dark horse before playoffs, like making it in playoffs that aren't currently there, I would definitely say Nugget.
Yeah, I mean,
that's it.
Either or works. Well, you know what?
I'm sorry, I'm an idiot, not Earl. My bad. Steve.
Well, yeah, Steve I could see, but I wouldn't choose Oak because he has literally, I think, become a fan favorite after the two DNFs and now coming back. He's like us. I think this could be a comeback of the year. But so that's why I don't think he's a dark horse. But I think a dark horse, Winks. Nobody talks about Winks, yet he's in third place with no wins.
Okay, so for playoffs, it's the top 12 that move on to the next race, with 4 of those getting a bye in stage 1.
And how many races do you need to win to advance? It looks like he's typing.
Yeah, we're going to have to definitely start pushing this towards the trivia at this point.
Yeah, but to quickly finish my point, the reason I think Winks is a dark horse, how many people talk about Winks?
Not many.
Exactly.
I don't really talk about Winks, but he's a top 3.
Yes.
How can a dark horse be a top 3? I don't necessarily agree
everyone
with that.
focuses on Woodpecker, Lemon Drizel, and Streamer. Nobody talks about Winks. Also, real quick, how do you like the fact that all 3 Red Panda Racing cars are top 4?
I think that's
no,
great.
Earl's
great.
Winks isn't Winks actually Flair's car?
I'm not 100% sure.
I think
I don't keep aware of all the allegiances.
I think Earl is Earl is with Lemon Drizel and Woodpecker.
You have to win a total of 25 heats in the tournament.
Okay, that's gonna take a lot of. Okay, Winks is Flair. Okay, then why is everybody saying Flair has terrible fortune?
Because his other cars, you lose pretty much all. Even if he only does 1 through, if that much.
Okay. Yeah. Well.
Yeah. I don't know.
I guess.
He has I think he's 4 cars, right? Or is it just 3?
3. He has Winks, Murakami, and
Bloodstorm.
Bloodstorm. Yes. Oh. Is that
He's doing alright, then.
He had he tied with like the highest number of cards on his team, and like he's like these can't seem to keep it up. Because Murakami is second to last. Bloodstorm is near the cutoff line, and then
Bloodstorm, you might get 2 up
Waze
in
is
there.
up there.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know what he's complaining about. I mean, if you could put 3 cars in, you get 2 cars out. I mean, you shouldn't be complaining at all.
But one of them is barely holding on though.
I mean, but like holding on as good as Oak. I mean, come on.
Sure.
I mean, and Sal and Earl, to be honest, are all around the same place. So I mean, I don't know. I don't think there's much room for complaining there. But anyways, guys, we're gonna have to get to the trivia here. We're about halfway through the show, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna ram into Marbula 1. But we're probably gonna touch on the fan email really quick. So remember, you can email us at mswpodcast@gmail.com if you have a thought. I want to hear your thought. It can be Marble related. It can be non-Marble related. You can ask a question. You can give an opinion. Ask for whatever. Just do whatever you want. Send us an email. We want to hear from you guys. We want to make this about you as much as we can. So that's mswpodcast@gmail.com. Email us there. With that being said, we're going to head to the trivia, and then we'll come back and get into the email for the week. Play that trivia music.
Now it's time for the trivia segment. Come on now, let's go, go, go. Go, go, go.
All right, it's played. So we're here in trivia. Who has trivia question and wants to start us off? We're going to try to go relatively quick through these trivia questions today because I do really want to cover fantasy picks for Marbula 1. So let's go. Let's try to move quickly through this. So anyway,
okay, I have a question.
Gamma Wolf, start us off.
Okay, in race 5 of 2017, a marble won by 1/100th of a second in San Marble Rally. Can anyone guess who that marble is?
In race 5 of Sim Marble Rally?
Of 2017.
Wasn't that the Big Pearl year? Was that the Big Pearl year? I don't remember. I don't know. I mean, it's not Ghost Plasma because Ghost Plasma got like 19th in that year. Dragon's Egg might have had a good year that year. Honestly, I would go Red number 3 or Dragon's Egg or like Big Pearl. I'll go with Dragon's Egg.
Wasn't it Comet?
No, Comet didn't win that race by like 100th. Comet won that race by a margin.
Okay, then Pollo Loco.
Okay, the answer is Quicksilver. Okay, I have a second.
Never would have guessed that.
Okay, I have a second question. One marble has two of the top 5 smallest margins. Can you guess which marble that is?
What's 2 of the top 5 small? You mean smallest margins of victory by time in San Marble Rally ever?
Yes.
I mean, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's not Quicksilver, but I mean, I can't really think of any other marble who would jump out at me for that. I would say, I mean, Red number 3 has won the most races, so I would say Red number 3. That'd be my best guess.
Well, Red number 3 wins by a huge, wide margin all the time, though. At least
I mean, I guess. I mean, that's a valid point. So maybe you can throw out. I mean, Ghost Plasma is the only other marble I could throw out there, and
I would say Ghost Plasma and who's
I mean, it's only one marble with 2 of the close margin finishes, so he's only one guess.
Really? It's only one guess? Oh.
Yeah, it's one marble who's had 2 of the top 5 smallest margins of victory.
Then I guess it's just something different. El Capitan.
Sure.
It's Quicksilver. He has won by.
I figure you wouldn't have Quicksilver twice.
No, I would
just guess something else.
But here's the thing. Quicksilver won race 3 in 2017 by 600ths of a second, and then won race 5 by 100th of a second. Now there are the top 5
pretty
is
small margin.
Yeah, and the number 2 was Comet at 200ths of a second in race 5 of 2018. Quicksilver had 3rd with race 3 of 2017 at 600ths. Big Pearl in race 2 of 2017 had 800ths. Just listen to this. Race 2, race 3, and race 5 are all on the record books for having the smallest margins in 2017 of victory. And then
wow, close races. Well, whatever they did with the tracks in 2017, they should do again.
Yeah.
Maybe better conditions.
And then Marbleface actually tied twice for the for number 5 at 1300ths of a second in race 5 of 2016 and race 3 of 2018.
Okay. That's a good little bit of trivia, to be honest. I didn't even consider that those trivia things.
Yeah, and I literally just clicked on the San Marble Rally and was like, okay, this is good because I literally didn't have any trivia.
No, I like that. Anyway, Waff, why don't you go ahead for your question?
All right, so we are now on the final Ghost Marble facts. Facts from Glenn Brixey. That posted on the Reddit over a month ago. So this will cap our journey with the Ghost Marble for now. All right,
Oh, yay.
So the Ghost Marble made it to the finish line in the first race only once. Can you name which race that happened in?
You mean the first race of a particular season?
So yeah, so in one
Okay.
of the seasons, the Ghost Marble managed to make it to the finish line in the very first race of that season. Which season did that happen in?
I know
Best
it's not
guess
2016.
has got to be 2019.
I was going to say
Not
that
good.
exact
I don't
same.
think it's going to be 2020. I don't think it's going to be 2016 or 17. So my guess is 2019.
Yeah, I think it's 2019 also.
The answer is 2020.
Bruh!
What? How? 2020, the conditions were awful.
Well, I don't know, but the Ghost Marble pushed through in that first race, and they got through.
Man, I would
finish
not
line.
have guessed that. I mean, Ghost Marble. Okay, I guess so. I mean, it's not like I'm really paying attention to Ghost Marble, so I guess there you go. But
Thanks again to Glenn Brixey for all those wonderful.
Is that the end of the Ghost Marble trivia?
That is the end of it.
I like the Ghost Marble trivia. That was fun.
I'll be sure to look out for it for next year when we have 20 more. There won't be as many facts to do because that was covering all of the years.
Yeah. Anyway, I got a trivia question submitted by the great Hershey, creator of NASMARB, so we're going to have this one. Apparently, one driver has finished in the top 10 every race so far in the season 1 of NASMARB. Who is that driver?
Ooh,
Top 10 every.
Oh, I think I'm going to guess Winks.
That's a valid guess.
Winks is a good guess, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I can't see any fault with that. I feel like Streamer was not in the top 10 every time.
No.
I feel like who's second? Oh, Limon Drizel had a couple bad races.
Yeah, Limon Drizel didn't even qualify the first race.
Mozilla is the only other car it could possibly be, judging that other cars are just too low in points to possibly have that thing. And Woodpecker, yeah, it's got to be. It is Winks. There's no other possible answer. It's Mozilla or Winks, but I think it's Winks. Hey, it's Winks. Okay, yeah. So that makes sense because the only other possible car it even could have been is Mozilla. So yeah, so that is a great. It's a good question. That was a good one. So I'm glad we did that one. So there we go.
Was it correct? Winks?
Yes,
yeah, it was Winks. Yeah, I opened it.
Hey, you know what? Nice try, Hershey. We're just NASMARB beasts down here.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was just more intuitive because because the only cars that could have possibly finished in top 10 every time and have a logical current points total would have been any car in the top 5 because there's a big gap between 5 and 6.
And we know Woodpecker.
And then of course in the 5 we know 3 of the cars at least in the top 5 who had finished below 10: Woodpecker, Drizel, and Streamer. So I mean that left Mozilla and Winks, and honestly Winks is a more consistent answer. So
yeah.
I couldn't argue with it. So yeah, I mean that was a good question though. Another exciting trivia segment. So let's head back from the trivia, cue that music, and we'll read today's fan email.
That was the trivia segment. Now let's head back to the show. The show. Oh.
All right. I'm gonna assume the trivia music has played. I'm gonna go out on a limb. Has it played yet? And we're gonna read today's email. I'm so excited.
I got it up for you. So, do you have it up, or I have it up right now?
I have it up. I want to read it. It's here on the YouTube, so you can see the text itself. All right.
I gotta look.
All right. This is from Alex is Spooky. Okay. Please call me Comet Fan.
That's why I was going to do it.
All right. Well then, I don't know if editor take out the audio where I said the wrong name. Whatever. I'm sure it's not the end of the world. Comet. This is from Comet Fan. Sorry. Already
Don't say
making
it, Brendan.
mistakes. Anyways, hey guys, email in, right? MSWpodcast@gmail.com. All right, anyway, here we go. Here's his email. Hello, I sent an email way back in the summer, so I am the true first email. I don't think that's true.
I searched up their email. There's this email address in our mailbox. I could not find another email. Maybe they emailed us.
No. They did. No, they did email back. I remember it. But the first email, I believe the first ever email was way back, like only a couple episodes in. I think someone emailed, one of my friends just emailed to be funny. So that was technically the first email. But besides the point, hello, I sent an email way back in the summer, so I'm the true first email, but congrats to Richard, who was our first email when I started making it a big deal to email in. I have a few things to say. What separates marble sports from the people playing with marbles?
MFA versus
so these are
MSH.
Questions. These are questions for us.
Wait,
I guess I'm going
do
to
you want me
assume
to
these are
answer?
questions for us. What separates marble sports from the people playing with marbles? MFA. Is this like a joke or a
As
question for us?
an example, like MFA versus MNH Racing. He's saying as an example.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So
Okay, well, let me read all the stuff first, and then we'll.
Well, why
Then
not just do it as we go?
Okay,
I
since-
think that'd be
yeah. So
Okay, we'll do it as we go,
Do
because
you want
Woff
me
is
to answer
executive
since-
decisioning me.
do you want me to answer since I'm the guy who is specifically named in the question? Sort of.
Sure. Give
Okay.
your opinion, I suppose.
So what separates marble sports from human sports, if that's the right word? The reason it separates is because it's pretty much devoid of politics. You don't have any people sitting down or doing any funny games where you have pretty pure...
MFA.
What?
The question wasn't about marble sports to real sports. It's marble sports to people playing with marbles.
Oh, okay.
I'll-
Okay, so why marble
And
sports
so
is better?
he considers the channel MFA as a marble sports channel, whereas they consider MNH Racing a
Playing
non-marble
with
sports
marbles.
Okay, so what makes it different is mostly in the commentating. If you have a good commentator, you can make anything sound exciting. Now, when you have hands, it kind of makes the quality go down, because who wants to see people playing with marbles? You want to see the marbles have their own kind of bodies.
All right.
Think
I want to
marbles.
cash in on this one. This is something that I feel like I've discussed at length, so this is a topic I like to talk about. Here's the big difference. Marble sports focuses on the marbles having inherent skill. Marbles in marble sports, a real marble sports event, are the stars. There is no interaction from the human that is of course I have my own little weird crazy idea of humans being involved in marble sports, but that's a different discussion. Most of the time, real marble sports, marbles are the stars. Playing with marbles, humans are the stars, and they're just shooting marbles. And the marbles don't really matter. It's really about what the human's doing. So that's the difference. The focus in marble sports is on the marbles, is on what they're doing, pretending that they are athletes. That is the difference.
Okay.
We have talked about this long time ago about what makes a marble sports and first of all, even though I would say that MNH Racing is a marble sports channel because it has because what we define as marble sports is an organized competition with commentary, a point system, teams, and team names and stuff like that. That's what we define as a marble sport. Whereas channels that are playing with marbles, for instance, they don't have any little structure, just putting marbles through tracks or something . So that's what we at least back in the day, that's what we defined the difference between marble sports and non-marble sports. So I would disagree with your example, but I hopefully that answered your question.
I couldn't have answered it
No,
better.
yeah,
That was a really good answer, both of you.
I hope they did address it correctly. Let's continue through these. What is the best ML event? Collision, in my opinion. Guys, just say an event.
It's hard to argue with that
Okay,
one. I love it too much.
actually, honestly, 2019 Collision, yes. 2020 Collision, no.
2020. Well, we talked about 2020 Collision and the problems with it, but Collision overall is the most chaotic
Collision-
event. There are some other really good events, and often
Or balancing. Collision or
rafting
balancing.
is my favorite. Is also my favorite event in some respect, but it's hard for me to ignore Collision because Collision has more going on than rafting. And actually, people have asked me what's my favorite event, and I've said rafting, but I stay with Collision. I feel like Collision's a little bit better than rafting overall, and even though rafting, of course, is probably my second or tied for first event. All right, this one's for Waff. Did you know ricochet means ricochet? Thank you, Comet fan. Brendan doesn't make it sound right, so it's his fault. Get it? By the way, do you get it? If you don't get it, it's Rick O'Shea. That's the name of the guy who does the commentary for Marble
Rick.
Dion. And if you say it
Shay.
quickly, it sounds like ricochet, which is a word which means bouncing off walls and stuff, which is something marbles do.
I wonder if ricochet bounces off walls like a ricochet.
Maybe.
Oh my gosh.
I would say. Anyway, will Gel come up on episode 100? Possibly. That is something. Listen.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Guarantee that.
I cannot guarantee anything. I think that in the future of the show, Gel coming on is a distinct possibility, but getting him down and like this is it's going to be specifically 100.
No.
It's going to be pretty difficult.
I will say this right now: Dion will not let Yella on.
I don't know. I don't believe that's true, but I feel like it'll be a while before we'll get that
First
opportunity.
things first, because Yella has autism, Dion won't let him come on. You might be able to get Dion, but not Yella.
Well, I mean, Yella's been interviewed before.
He's been interviewed before. So, like, if he comes on, it might be a more structured situation where, like, we have to record, like, off live or something like that.
Yeah.
And we have to ask specific questions or something like that. But as far as him being in the show, I think it's a distinct possibility. I can't promise a day.
You might be able
Creeper,
to get...
question mark? I don't know what that means, but sure.
Oh, man.
Yes. Yes. Shall we start playing the song?
And then he says, please for the 100 sub special, sing Rick Astley Waff. So Waff.
So, yeah, okay, so-
yes.
Do that.
Can I sing that
can't
too?
remember.
Can I sing that too? Can we do a duet?
No, like, so like, what I'm trying to figure out here. What did I like? That's making me think. Like, did we make a joke about like singing Rick Astley a long time ago? Like,
No,
like,
remember? I did.
comment-
I rickrolled you. I rickrolled you.
Yeah, but that wasn't the first time. Like, I'm talking about way back in the day. Like, comment fan. Like, if you actually if you hear this episode, I would like to know. Like, do you know what like, if this is at you like referencing something that we said at one point? Send me the timestamp. I'd like to know because I think that might have been what I was thinking about back in episode 69. But I mean, like, we're past the 100 sub point. We're at 339, correct?
Yep.
I believe.
Yes.
339. So
yeah.
bit late for that,
Oh,
unfortunately.
100 sub special. I thought you said episode 100. That's what I read it as.
No,
yeah,
no.
I mean, maybe for 1,000 sub special if we ever get there.
Hey, could I sing it too, please?
I mean, it's more of a WAF thing, but
yeah, it's a
we'll
WAF
worry
thing.
about that. We'll cross that bridge when we
Bruh.
come to it.
WAF gets everything.
Okay, make up an ML event with WAF and score each other's out of 10 event. That is something that we might do in a future episode. Just hopefully we'll remember that you said that because that's a great idea. Me and WAF
that'll
will do
take up
it
more time,
at a
but-
random episode in the future. We're not doing that right now, but we will do it at some point. This is all meant to be on a day in quiet time in Marble Sports, which is soon. Oh, okay. So, I mean, it's a little busy now, but that's okay. We are excited to read your email. The fans are as important to us as the actual Marble Sports. Okay, he says, I made some Marble Sports. Please rate it and tell me what you think. I could do better. It does not have to be in the podcast. We can take a look at it at some other point. And his last comment is, you guys helped me through hard times. My entire family has been diagnosed with, you know what? I'm going to assume
The
either
COVID
unmentionable
or
virus.
cancer?
Yes.
Okay, virus then. COVID. Okay, which means my baby sister may die soon. I really hope that doesn't happen. So we'll send a prayer up for you. I got framed at my school. Framed for what? I get bullied a whole lot and some other things that I'm not going to mention. So thanks, guys. Listen, man, I'm very, very I'm very happy that we can help you through the hard times. Everyone does have hard times, and I know that it can be very difficult through hard times. Everyone's hard times are different from each other. Everyone's hard times have their own special aspect to them that just make them especially hard and special. And so I really hope that all the difficult things you are going through get better, and that whatever you're framed for, you don't get convicted for that. And I'm glad that we at the podcast can help you, and actually, for that matter, you and everybody else who may be going through hard times, their own special hard times. I'm glad that we're helping you get through that. So,
could I say something real quick
again,
to Comment Fan?
One sec, MFA. I just wanna finish what I'm saying. So yeah. You're welcome, man, and I hope that things go well for you, and I hope that your favorite teams in Marbula 1 win this year, or at least have a good year. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, again, it warms my heart to know that what we do is having an effect on other people who listen, and so I hope that we are warming your heart as well. MFA, if you want to tack onto that, you
so
can.
Comment Fan, is that what we're calling him?
Yes.
Yeah, I
Okay,
think
so
we are.
Comet fan.
I said his name. Maybe that will be cut out. We'll see.
Okay, so Comet fan. The best thing I've figured out is kill with kindness. It's the best way to make friends and stop bullying. You know what? I'm kind of a weird guy, and I've actually been attacked by people during actually my sister's graduation party. And the best way to do it is just either A, ignore, or B, kill with kindness. It works.
I mean, yeah, those are the if we're doing advice, that is actually good advice. That's the best thing we can say, and just I mean,
Yeah.
I honestly believe every person from the bully to the bullied. I mean, everyone is inherently has good inside of them, and it's just everybody just has tough things in their life where things can happen where they express it differently with anger or with bullies and stuff. So I mean, just the best thing to do is just try to be kind back, and maybe they'll realize that they don't really want to bully you, and because usually it's just something going on in their life that's causing them to act that way.
And make sure your skin's as hard as titanium.
Yeah, you got to have a thick skin. Yeah, dude. Yeah, thick skin is key. Thick skin is key. That's all you can do, and I'm sure, as you get older, that will die down, and you're probably an awesome guy. So I mean, you're listening to a Marble Sports podcast, so you're an absolute awesome guy. So again, we hope things continue to your hard times get better. And thank you for listening to our show.
Yeah, I hope that things get better for you. I might definitely I don't know what your personal beliefs are, Comet Man, but definitely my prayers go out to you and your family.
Same here. Same here.
My advice for bullying, I do agree that it is definitely a good to try and to ignore them or to be to try and beat them with kindness, but it's also important to remember that you need to stand up for yourself. I don't know what the extent of the bullying is. All I know is that but what I can say is that eventually at a certain point you do have to stand up for yourself. So definitely use your good judgment on how to handle this. If you're having trouble, definitely
talk to your parents.
Your parents. Ask your parents, or if you have counselors at your school, ask them for help on how they would approach it. But definitely try to be kind and to not pay them any mind, because that they want to get a reaction out of you generally when you get bullied. But sometimes that doesn't work, and at which point you do need to be able to stand up for yourself.
I have 7 siblings, so I know how this works. Ignore usually stops it. And being kind. If you say, "Oh, thank you for that remark," that literally takes the wind out of their sail.
As long as you're not too passive aggressive about it, but
yes.
You gotta. It's about that, and look at that, guys. We're being therapists. But yeah, I mean,
Marble Sports Therapy for
again,
the win.
Thank you for the email. You can email in at mswpodcast@gmail.com, and we will give you the same treatment of email and respond to it as best we can. Again, ask questions, give opinions, say anything, say nothing, say a lot, say a little, whatever you guys want to do. We want to hear from you. We want to hear about your life, and we want to know if this podcast is helping you through hard times. I am so happy that for Comet Fan, this is helping him. Because times, especially right now, are very tough, and we need all we can get to help each other through, all the support we can get to help each other through these difficult times. So again, a big you're welcome for Comet Fan, and we're going to have to continue with the show here. So yeah, we don't have a lot of time left, and we're supposed to pick Marbula 1 teams. So
yeah.
I'm not pushing off my picks till next week, so this one's just gonna have to be a little bit of a long episode because we need to pick Marbula 1 teams now. So Waf, have you picked them already, or you're still up for discussion
I done my team picks. So I did Team Momo for my 3 times pick. Just of course, you know me, I have to pick my boys.
Yeah,
and then I put
and
Raspberry
your
Racers for
ladies.
second because, again, I have my personal bias for them. They're not too good at Marbula 1, but I always pick on preference first. That is the exact opposite, I know, of what you're meant to do, I guess, with fantasy leagues. But if I don't rep who I support, well, then what kind of fan am I? So
no, yeah, agreed.
Wait,
agreed.
Okay, never mind. I thought Team Momo wasn't on the list.
No, he's there.
So, but for my one-time multiplier picks, I picked Savage Peters, of course, because they are a very obvious safe pick to make. The Minty Maniacs, they did really good last year, or I guess this year. Still, jeez, it's weird. But like, so they're. I think Mini Maniacs are like they have shown us that they are really good. They can on track and on competition. So they have what it takes to really bring it. And for my final pick, Crazy Cat's Eyes.
Ooh,
Just
All right.
he's going crazy.
they're one of my favorites. And I like to support my favorite teams, but
Wait, did they even compete in the first season? Crazy Cat's Eyes?
I do not believe so. No, they did
No.
not. They did not.
Interesting. No,
Wait,
they did not.
No, I
No,
don't
they
think
did
so.
not. No, they didn't. You're right. Interesting. Good picks. Are those all of them?
That's all 5 of them. Yes.
Okay. So, I mean, your picks are interesting. I have to be honest, right off the bat, I got to say, Waff, I don't think your picks are winning any fantasy league this year.
Oh,
That's
absolutely
just
not. I know.
That's just my guess. It's not a definite.
As a Momo fan, I am very keenly aware that Momo is middle of the pack at best for the most of the time, and so picking Momo for anything fantasy-wise is not gonna net you much. But and again, I picked based on preference, not on not necessarily performance. So, but that's just the kind of guy I am, and I'm sticking with it.
No, yeah, absolutely, and it's good to stay loyal to what you think. To talk about picks that I'm thinking, I put a question out on the Reddit. I said, which M1 fantasy pick are you most confident and which pick are you least confident? I just want to get like people's opinions in general and what their picks were and why they wanted them. We got a few answers. Not everybody. Obviously, we didn't get a million answers because, well, I mean, honestly, if your post is a text post and doesn't have a picture in it, it just gets less attention on the Reddit. That's just always the way it goes. So I'm happy I got the few answers I did. Someone started out saying speeders and hazers are obvious picks and that they think primary and snowflakes could turn heads this year as they had one stellar competitor and one not so good competitor, so it'll depend on the new athlete. So maybe they're snowflakes, by the way. It's snowballs. So I don't know how we
Okay,
got that
I
wrong.
definitely agree with
But,
the Savage Speeders and Hazers pick. Definitely go with those.
Yeah, so I mean, he has some good points there. So I think for me, a Savage Beaters is going in there somewhere. Hazers are going in there somewhere.
I feel like
I just don't have enough data to go anywhere past. I mean, like, come on.
Endo
I mean, these are the
Rangers.
top two
Endo
teams.
Rangers.
They gotta fit in there. Honestly, I'm not a big Rangers fan when it comes to Marbula 1. I do not think they're gonna do
Also,
as well,
okay,
even as well
Marble
as they did this
Guy,
year.
please, just for the memes, pick Minty Maniacs. Just for the memes.
I'm not going to do that. I'm just
Memes.
not going to do that. I do not like them.
But they're a
And I will
good
not pick
team.
They're not winning Marbula 1. I mean, come on.
It's
Come
not about
on.
it's not about winning. It's about getting a lot of points.
Oh, they're not getting a lot of points in Marbula 1. You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind.
Are we?
You're out of your mind.
Are
You're
we?
out of your mind, and I'm not picking them. And if they get first, they get first, and I'll eat that. But I'm not picking the Mini Maniacs. That's not who I'm betting my
Wait a minute.
money on.
Did I accidentally say that Minty Maniacs raced in the first season of Marbula 1?
Yep.
I don't know what you said, but are they racing in the second season? Because you
Yep.
guys just implied that.
Yep.
They are.
They are.
They are.
They did not race in the first season,
Oh.
and there's no reason to pick them if we've never even
I
seen
was
them
thinking of the
perform.
last race of 2020.
Yeah, which, by the way, was
Marbula
only one race, and it was in a different scenario. So I honestly am not about the Mini Maniacs picking them. But here's what I'll say. I'll say that speeders and hazers are probably getting in there. I think snowballs are a great pick, and I think I might put them in there somewhere. Let's see what the other comments said. Limer's most confident.
No.
I said Lime Time indeed,
No.
but I don't know if I'm going to pick Limers. I might throw it at the bottom just because I like the Limers. Someone asked about the Discord. Someone asked about the JMR Discord. And then someone said, are Rangers that's their times 3, Speeders that's their time 2, Oceanics, Galactic, and Hazers, which is not a bad spread.
Oceanics.
Galactic is not a bad
no.
pick either.
Galactic, yes.
Let's take a look though at the stats from last year. Obviously, Savage Speeders and Hazers were top 2 by far, and I think I would be retarded. Oh, I don't know if we can use that word anymore. But I would be stupid not to put them somewhere in the lineup just because they were clearly the best teams. It gets a little nebulous as you get down past top 2 because the difference in points between third place and like 8th is like all within 20, so it's not that big of a gap, and you could go any way on that. And then the difference from that to the bottom is like 30. So, I mean, it can get nebulous when you go from Rangers down. I think Snowballs is a good pick based on the fact that you had one good competitor, one bad one, and maybe the new athlete for the Snowballs is going to shine this year. I honestly think Green Ducks, just as a team, are a well-performing team, and putting them in there might be a good idea. I'm a little bit Mellow Yellow is pretty good on the track, but I'm a little bit dubious about them. They did have a few good finishes, but not all good finishes. So those are the thoughts I'm thinking. I honestly don't think. I mean, Limers. I don't know if I'm gonna pick Limers. I want to go, since Marbula 1 has not had enough years in it that for me to really like develop a team that I have to pick every year for, like Marble League has. I may not pick Limers for Marbula 1 just because, I mean, there's not much of a reason to. This is not Marble League. This is not the same thing. Hornets, Limers, Raspberry Racers, Rojo Rollers, Midnight Wisps. I honestly see no reason to pick any of those teams. No reason to even argue for any of those teams. I mean, they are just bad. They did not have many good races. Midnight Wisps, yeah, they had one bronze, but I mean, come on. Honestly, you might be able to make an argument from Team Momo up because they had some more consistent points hauls.
That's true.
But I mean, you're not. I don't really know what to say regarding that. And honestly, I think that you got to play to only what you know, and we only know a certain amount because we've only had one season and we have new teams. And we don't know. Cobalts could come out and kill it this year, and we don't know. We do not know.
Really?
Have you seen them race in Marbula 1?
Oh, speaking of new teams, by the way, new posters are out by Jack Ironhide. They look amazing. Go support them.
The new posters look just. I can't even believe you can make a poster that good. To be honest.
Yeah, and they're not. Are there more coming, or is it just? I think was there 4 new teams, or is there 6 new teams added in?
I don't remember.
6. So there's 2 more posters still to go, if I'm not mistaken. So.
Oh, hooray!
Okay.
Team Primary switched out their teammate.
So this is going to be a hard choice. Okay, so here's teams that I will pick. I would pick Crazy Cat's Eyes because I like them. I'd pick Green Ducks. I'd pick Hazers. I would pick Savage Speeders. I would pick Snowballs.
So how many teams is
I
that?
don't really know. I really don't really know if I'd pick any of those teams. I don't think Team Primary is a good team. I don't think Thunderbolts are a good racing team. I don't think Team Momo is a good racing team. I don't think Galactic is. I mean, Galactic maybe.
Momo did have a good recovery in the latter half, but also I swear
come on. Stop trying to argue Momo.
Okay, Oceanics were added in. If Oceanics has a track, they might implement water, and the Hazers and Momo are 2 of the best water racing teams.
Yeah, but that's one track.
I know, but I'm just saying
8.
that is something that we should consider. Like they might, there's just a random possibility that water might, and I'm just throwing out a random idea that maybe it could possibly happen. But if water's involved, Momo and the Hazers will thrive in those 2.
Listen, here I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take the advice of the guy in the Reddit post. He made a very good point.
A pun.
He called them snowflakes, but it's really Snowballs. I don't know how he made the mistake, but Snowballs could turn some heads this year as they had one stellar competitor held back by their teammate, so they'll really depend on the new athlete. So we got a new athlete, we got a stellar athlete from the Snowballs. Honestly, just based on odds, the chances of the Savage Beaters coming out and getting first place overall again in Marbula 1 is low because this is not like San Marble Rally or Red Number 3. These teams are all high competitive teams. Competitor teams are going to be very competitive out there, and you're not. I don't think you're going to see Savage Speeders be able to ebb out another overall first place. I think Snowballs is going to be my times 3 pick. Okay. I know it's a difficult pick, but we're going to go for it. I'm going to see how it rolls. See what it did there, and I'm going to go for it. So Snowballs will be my times 3 pick. So for my times 2 pick, I think I would be ridiculous if I did not choose the Savage Speeders. They are just too good not to pick them for the times 2. Most people will pick them for times 3. I want to be a little bit different and play the odds that I won't be one of the millions of people with the times 3 Savage Speeders and maybe come out on top because the Snowballs might have a little bit of a better year. So we're going Savage Speeders times 2.
Plus, Savage Speeders don't tend to, at least so far, don't tend to repeat their victories until a few years later.
No.
So
I mean, they did go 1-2-2-5-1,
Right.
so chances are they're going to do well this year, but not
Yeah.
repeat. We're gonna go Hazers for number 3. Honestly, look at the stats. How could you not pick Hazers? You got to pick Hazers, number 3. Okay, number 4 and 5. This is where it gets interesting because this is where we can start to talk about teams that we don't know about. And I think that, I mean, obviously we know nothing about Crazy Cat's Eyes, but we do know Crazy Cat's Eyes are always like a solid in the middle competitor. We don't really know anything about, I mean, honestly, watch
That's
me
nice.
not pick Mellow Yellow and the Limers, and they do great. But I'm not inclined to pick Limers. I'm not really inclined to pick
Team
Mellow
Galactic
Yellow.
Green
They've
Ducks.
had a down Marble League season. They've had a down past Marbula 1 season. They were finished 10th out of 16. I'm not a big fan of them this year. I have no confidence. I have no confidence in Mellow Yellow or the Limers right now. Honestly, Jungle Jumpers, Cobalts mean nothing to me right now. Bumblebees and Balls of Chaos, I can't even make a decision. Midnight Wisp, Thunderbolts, Team Primary, Momo, I don't see them doing well. Raspberry Racers could go up and down, or Rangers could go up and down, but honestly, a lot of these teams are not meaning much to me when it comes to Marbula 1. So, I mean, honestly, I'm looking at Team Galactic, I'm looking at Green Ducks, I'm looking at Crazy Cat's Eyes as teams that I would be leaning towards right now. I'm a big Crazy Cat's Eyes fan. I'm wearing the hoodie right now. If you're watching me on the YouTube, you can see it in the camera. So I'm gonna leave it up to WAF and MFA. Crazy Cat's Eyes, Green Ducks, Team Galactic. What 2 would you guys pick from those? Okay, and WAF, what about you?
in terms of consistency, I think we know more about how the Green Ducks and this Team Galactic will do.
Yeah, I mean they 5th and 6th. I mean you can't.
Wow.
That's the safer pick.
Mm-hmm.
No, but here's the thing. Here's my problem with that. If I go Savage Beaters, Hazers, Snowballs, Team Galactic, Green Ducks, I just picked 5 teams from the top 6, and I feel that a top 6 will never repeat. So I can't see all 5 of these teams top 6ing this year. So I got to stray a little bit from the previous top 6 because likely it's going to be different. So I think I'm going to throw Crazy Cat's Eyes in for number 4, knowing that they're probably going to middle of the road. And honestly, I think I'm going to go Team Galactic versus Green Ducks. I'm just more of a Green Ducks guy. I honestly think they're a more motivated team.
Ducks didn't do so well recently.
But yeah, Marble League versus Marbula 1, I mean, I just think Green Ducks are a team that you're going to see have a couple of good races at least out there on the course this year. And I don't think you can really go against that. So I think that's going to be the last pick. We're going to go Snowballs times 3, Savage Beaters times 2, Hazers, Crazy Cat's Eyes, and Green Ducks. I'm going to lock in those picks. I'm going to call the team name, and we'll call them MSW. And we'll submit, and this is what we're going with. I do not know how this will go, but I'm very interested to see how these teams roll out. So that is going to be my picks. We are way over. We're at 109. So I think we're going to wrap up the show now. But hey, guys, Marbula 1 picks. That's a great time to email in, mswpodcast@gmail.com. I want to hear your picks and why. There are so many possible teams to pick from, so you gotta choose something. So that's how we're gonna end today's episode. In the future, we'll be talking more Marbula 1, we'll be talking more NASMARB, we'll be talking more Marble Sports as we always do. Why don't you take us out?
All right, roll on, Marble Sports fans.